Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a Stihl MS170 chainsaw. This saw bogs, will not rev up. Usually this is caused by a few things. Could be, plug muffler, bad carburetor, etc. I'm going to show you what it's doing and then show you how to fix this. Customer brought this in. Main issue is that it bogs. If it warms up quite a bit, it might go, but after a while it will bog again. I just want to show you what it's doing. I'll get it started here on my bench. So this is what's going on, guys. Even if you let it warm up a lot, it will do that. What I think it is a bad carburetor, but before replacing the carburetor, let's check the spark arrestor here. Usually when it's the spark arrestor, the saw will sound quieter because it's all plugged up. I don't think it is, but I will show you how to do that anyway, just so that you can double check everything first. You can let it cool down before you check the spark arrestor. It won't be as hot then. It's a bit hot right now. So we'll do that and then we'll move on from there. So first thing, get your 8mm nut driver to check that. And it's also good to look at the condition of the piston and the rings while you're at it. So once you get the two nuts off, this here will come off. And this is the screen that you want to make sure is not plugged. I do have videos on how to clean these. If they are totally plugged with carbon, you just heat it up with your propane torch, then clean off the ashes. This is perfectly clean. Let's check inside here. When I did start the chainsaw up, there was quite a bit of compression, so I don't think there's an issue in here, but let's have a look. Now you can see inside there, it looks nice and smooth. And here's where you want to look. The piston and the ring down in here, you want them to be shiny and smooth like that. This is perfect. There's actually two rings on the piston, not just one. And there's no scoring whatsoever. No issues here. I'm 100% sure it is the carburetor. And this is what I will proceed to replace, is the carburetor. So I'll just put the muffler back on. The screen goes right here. Now it might want to come off on you here. So if you tilt the saw up like this, it's a no-brainer. It's not going to fall off. Put this back on. I'll get these all snugged up. So I'll get the muffler tightened up and then I'll move on from here. So because I'm doing this repair for a customer, I am just putting in a brand new Stihl original carburetor in this. Sure, they're more expensive than the Amazon ones, but I don't get customers come back with this Stihl carbs. It's actually cheaper to just do that than to charge labor to try to fix a carburetor that may or may not work after I do the work. So I've got the new carb here. I'll show you the part number, show you how to do it in this chainsaw. This applies to the newer generation of MS170s and the older generation, and it's pretty well the same install for the MS180. Now usually I do check the fuel before I go through these procedures. The fuel was good. Customer says they just put the fuel in the gas tank. I will dump it out now before I do the carburetor replacement, see what their gas is like, then after I'll throw in the true fuel once I'm done. So I'll just pour the gas that's in it in this container. Fuel looks good. Now my container was a bit dirty, but the fuel is good. However, I will get rid of it and start fresh. So to get started here, I will remove the top cover. Now grab your 8mm nut driver from Stihl. Here's the part number for this right here. I will put this part number in the video description. And you can get these at the Stihl dealer, obviously. There's 2 nuts right here. Then this whole part here will come out. You'll have your 2 nuts from there. First thing I do is disconnect the throttle linkage. I kind of put the throttle wide open. I just hold this part and pull this out, and I just leave it here. Next is I get the choke lever off right here. So I bring this up and just pull it out like that. This is what you're left with. Now the next part of this repair, be careful, is you have to pop this out of these clips here, of this clip right here. So just gently pry it up and just pull it out of the way like this. You don't need to completely get it out. Leave the wire on there, leave it like this. Now you can actually pull the car back. Now before I continue here, I will just shut the choke and air blow to clean this all out here before I continue. Now what you want to do is back the carburetor out a bit, just like that. And you want to get the fuel line off. Just push it back. Get it out of the way here, and your entire carburetor should come right off. So just pull back on the carb, get the linkage, leave the linkage down here actually, and then it'll come off very easily, just like that. I'm not even going to take this apart. I've done so many of these carburetors, rebuilt them, did everything. They didn't run right even after that. So to just expedite the repairs in my shop, I'm just putting in a new Stihl carburetor. And here's the part number, 1130-120-0603, $81.99 here in Canada. Still a better repair in our shops here because you're not wasting time on labor. And here it is, Stihl OEM carburetor made by Zama. Now these carburetors are non-adjustable. Well, this one's got a tiny, I haven't seen this before, but no screws in there to adjust. If they were easier to adjust, guys, I'd say about 80% of these carburetors could be saved. And also, this will be a much easier repair for most of my viewers today who don't work on this stuff and are just doing it for themselves. Before I put a new carburetor on, I always check to make sure the screws are tight. I've had a few come in where the screws were not quite as tight as they should be. And you'll know your carburetor is OEM when you see all the numbers on it here, C1Q, Zama, and you will also see these numbers right here by the fuel connector. On the knockoff ones, you won't see these numbers over here. So what I'll do here is insert the carburetor in this position, right on the studs here. And I will get in the fuel line in there before I put everything else on. Very straightforward and simple. And what I'll do here is get the throttle linkage in the carburetor right here. See the lever right here? You want to bring it down and get your lever right inside here. Just like that. And then try it out. And now what you want to do is get the choke lever in and be very delicate with the choke because you don't want to break this part here on the saw. And what I do here is I slightly lift up the spring here for the on-off switch just so it doesn't get all bent out of shape. And then once you have it here, you just pop it in there. And I'll get the choke lever back in. You want to start it down here. Bring your choke mechanism up like this. Now if it doesn't quite line up in there, you can grab pliers and just get it into the hole here. And I'll just quickly test it here before I put the rest of the parts. All good. And now you want to get your air filter assembly back on and get your 2 nuts back on here. Not a difficult job, guys. Even if it's the first time you do this, it might be easier just to replace the carb. You might get away with the Amazon carburetors, but I find it's kind of hit or miss with them. With these Stihl carburetors, I find that customers do not come back. So I prefer it that way because they're low margin repairs. You don't want to have to do the job twice and get an aggravated customer, or have them even think you didn't do a good job because the parts are inferior sometimes. So tighten these 2 nuts evenly, not too tight. Just use common sense. And then just get your cover back on. Secure that. And the job is done. Now everything I repair in the shop, I put True Fuel in it, especially the 2-cycle, because I don't know how long they will put this away and not use it. I'm using today the True Fuel 50-to-1. This will not carbon up your muffler like the Stihl oil does, and it's full of stabilizers. And it's pink in color, this one. You can also get the 40-to-1 if you want. There's a bit more oil in the 40-to-1. I like using the 40-to-1 in my own equipment. Let's try the saw out. I believe this will have fixed the problem. We'll know soon enough. Alrighty, perfect. You got to let these warm up a bit too to have them be more responsive. I do find that the older generation of 170s that were not all made in China were a bit more peppy than these ones here. So what I'll do now is just go outside, test it out in the log, just to make sure that under load it actually does not bog as well. Sometimes you can have a saw work great on the bench like this, but as soon as they're under load, they may be starving for fuel. Okay, it's a rainy day today. Alright, this saw runs like new again. The only adjustment you can do on this saw on the carburetor right now is the idle speed adjustment. Now I've put the carburetor on, I didn't do any adjustments whatsoever, ran perfectly out of the box. But if your chainsaw is idling too fast, what you do is you turn out the screw here. If it's idling too slow, you turn it in, and where you find that screw is right here. There's a hole right through here. Goes right through the plastic, and then it goes to this screw. If you have a hard time to see it, take the cover off. You will see the screw better that way to adjust it. Great little saws, guys. I've got a couple of these, and I've got an MS180 as well. I love these saws. They're great. They always start. Only issue is the carburetor. What I recommend to use in these saws, if you don't, if you're not cutting a lot of wood with it and you use it here and there sporadically, just use the True Fuel like I put in the tank. It will make your carburetor last longer, and this fuel here will not plug up your muffler like the Stihl mixing oil does. That's why I use it all the time. It goes in every customer's chainsaw that leaves the shop. So thanks again for watching, guys. Hopefully the video has helped you out. Check out my other chainsaw repair videos, and I hope you guys have a great day.